this bird in this business suit, and he was trying to sell me on this bullshit new neighborhood designation. I didn't buy it, but he was a real pro-crow.
Hey.
But I couldn't rent a house. I was ineligible because I had killed this guy at the docks last year, and I was left with a red hook on my arm. And I was staying in this hostel, and the mattress was terrible, and it gave me this eye infection. I was left with a real bed-stuy. Did you guys know that the Black Eyed Peas are actually from Brooklyn? They grew up in Will.I.Amsburg. So I live a couple blocks away from here, actually, not far from Flatbush, true story. And they're building a stadium over there, and everything's getting torn down and turned into new restaurants and things. And they put a Hooters in our building, and now it's really Borum Thrill.
Oh, I'm not pausing for this.
Take the cannolis.
So, I went into this pet store in Brooklyn once, and I was trying to buy food for all of my pets, and I had some questions because like you can save money by bundling your pet foods. So I asked the guy at the pet store, can I buy dog food for my parakeet? I said, Will.I.Am's bird. Okay, so how many of you watched the New York Marathon?
Cheers.
It's a pretty cool event. It's a really international event. Like you have Americans like Uncle Tom's running along, and then there's the Kenyans named Kemba running, and they're really fast. But like all the Chinese people are not all that fast. They just sort of like all of those parks just sort of lope along. Park slope.
Hey, wait a minute!
Cornycopia.
Das racist.
That's racist.
Who's that?
Brown.
So, I'm not from New York City. I'm from Kentucky. I grew up in a small town, and so and I have a lot of really good friends that I miss there. And one of them is she does a lot of witchcraft. So and she lives out in the country, so she's a bushwiccan. But you know, I'm not used to being in the city because here I walk around and I see all these tall buildings, but at home, like I'm walking around, I'm like, oh, sheep's head, bah. So I feel like a total Dumbo when I'm going around hunting for apartments. And, you know, people try to come up with these gimmicks to sell everything, but I think it's just a form of procrastination. I don't know why anybody would stoop so low. You'd have to be brown-stoned to fall for something like that.
Wow, well done.
But, you know, in the end, I found a place to live, so I think I'm going to be gentrifying.
Wow. Front runner.
I drove in over the Brooklyn Bridge to get here, thinking I really should suspend my humor now. My son came from Westchester. He took Metro North and the subway to get here. He needed a little more training for this competition.
So a bunch of clothes were hanging out at the Gap, and the dresses said, "I'm really happy to be next to the pants." And the sweatshirts were overhearing this, so one sweatshirt turned and said, I wish I lived nearer to the flannel. Nearer to the flannel. I live in a bad place. I neighborhoods. Now, Central and Prospect were in love, but their parents didn't want them to marry, so the Parks eloped.